I am with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and this is my Monday segment, and with me today is Lawton.
Hello.
So Lawton is an agent at my office as well, and today we're just going to talk about being an agent and what we do all day. So what have you done today?
Sure. So really the day never ends, but the day never really begins.
So and you didn't know you were going to do this till like 30 minutes ago because I had a different guest, and
right.
He's in a meeting, and so you were
right.
in a suit, and I said, come on over.
That's right. Sure. So it is a lot of meetings. It's a lot of meeting with clients. It's a lot of putting out fires. I mean, there's always, a lot of real estate transactions can be very emotional, non-investment transactions. So there's a lot of emotions running high. There's usually a lot of money on the line for a lot of people. It's a large investment. So it's a lot of putting out fires, but it's a lot of finding out ways to prevent those fires in the first place. So. Right.
So typically a day for me, especially is Monday your busiest day, because we work at the same place.
Sure.
But most people don't realize that I probably hardly see you, and you probably hardly
right.
see me.
Yeah, we
neither one of us work at the office.
Sure.
We both have off-site locations where we work,
Mm-hmm.
and but Mondays are my busiest days. Are Mondays also your busiest days?
Sure. So since there's never really a weekend in real estate, it's a 7-day-a-week job.
Yes.
It's Monday mornings into Monday afternoons are usually spent, catching up, from the weekend. So Monday, Tuesday would be.
And what we mean by that is the banks are closed, the
right.
title companies are closed.
Everybody's off work except for real estate agents.
Yes,
right?
and people have gone out on Friday and Saturday. They found something that they wanted. They found something that they liked, and now they're calling their lenders, or
Right.
you're calling their lenders and clarifying some information.
Absolutely.
Because they will get all kinds of information wrong.
Right, yes. It's definitely a lot of catch up from them, going to open houses over the weekend, researching online over the weekend, and finding something online that they like. And I think that's a huge component, and it's becoming bigger and bigger in real estate, even in, Midwest Wichita, where, you can do almost anything online.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a car.
Do the loan application.
Right, you can do your loan application. You can buy a house. You can find a date. You can do anything you want.
You can find a date.
Right.
I need to know how that works.
You can do anything you want on your phone now, and I think more and more the consumer is more educated than they've ever been before.
That's exactly true.
And I think that as real estate agents, it has definitely transitioned from a sales role
Mm-hmm.
into more of an advisory role,
Right.
where they know what they want, and once they identify what they want, that's kind of where we come in and advise on the area, or advise on the schools, or advise on the price per square foot, where they are overpaying or getting a good deal.
Right.
And I think more and more that's where the industry's headed if it's not already there.
Right. So it used to be, I got in the business 16 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been in the business, what, 3?
It'll be 3 years in March, yeah.
And there's an age difference between you and I.
Sure.
We won't talk about that.
Sure.
But what I've seen over the years is when I first got in, people would buy a house in any condition.
Right.
And what I found in maybe the last 3 or 4 years is the people that are my age, they've been there, done that, fixed up the house, don't want to do it again.
Right.
People that are your age are coming from nice apartments, nice lofts, and they don't want to redo a bathroom.
Right. And that is the biggest thing I think with my age group is, all across the nation, if you look at a lot of different studies, you will find that my age group is so different from your age group. Because your age group, would have got married and they would have bought, their first home, their little bitty home. They would have fixed it up and moved to a nicer one, and then to a nicer one. And they could move and buy.
Probably about 4 or 5 times
Right.
where they're buying.
With my generation, we rent for 7 or 8 years and then buy the big one and we're done.
Right.
And that's such a different dynamic, I
mindset,
guess.
yeah.
Just between, 2 or 3 generations in between us. That would be the biggest difference that I've seen in working with folks who are older than me or a little closer to my age. There's a vast difference in mindset.
So let's talk a little bit about, you and I both do something a little bit different than a lot of agents
Mm-hmm.
do, is we both work with residential buyers and sellers,
Sure.
and then we both work with investment people.
Absolutely.
And that's how I happened to be on the phone with you
Right.
and said, hey, my person can't be there. You want to be here today?
Right.
So that's how you ended up. But so we work with investment, and what I found is different is when you deal, and you brought it up a little bit, when you deal with somebody who is buying their first house. They're overly emotional, thinking something's going to go wrong.
Right.
I remember when I bought my first house, I kept
Sure.
thinking, why are they being so nice to me?
Right,
Are they
right.
trying to unload an albatross
Right.
on my or something? Or who's lying to me? Or is that home inspector really doing what they're supposed
Sure.
to do? So their emotions are really high, and $1,000 to a first-time home buyer
big.
is a
That's
large
big
amount
money.
of money.
Absolutely.
When you get into like the third or fourth house, sometimes they've been there, done that,
Right, yeah,
things
it's
are
no thing.
different. But when they are selling now grandma's house, there's an emotional component to that.
Sure.
And one of the things that I wasn't prepared for when I took this job, because when you see people in the movies and on TV that are real estate agents, are always dressed nice, and then they, just out in the yard putting the sign on and everybody's happy getting their
Right.
picture taken. What I wasn't prepared for is, they're selling grandma's house and now the family's in there and they're upset, or there's family members that are upset with each other, and that's
Right.
what we're talking about, putting fires out.
Absolutely.
It's we're just kind of maintaining, moving the transaction forward and trying to keep everybody happy.
Sure. No.
But the other side of it is both you and I do investment property stuff, and that's just a whole different animal.
Totally different animal. Yeah, I mean, it's, for the most part with my investors, it's completely non-emotional. It's about numbers, and if they work, yes. If they don't work, good, no problem. They're on to the next deal.
Right.
So it's definitely completely different, and I work with a lot of investors from out of state. A lot of money is coming into Wichita from Colorado, a lot from California, in these larger markets where real estate investing is very, very hot. But they are finding in a lot of different articles and a lot of different research online that Wichita is a very economical place to invest, and
Right.
you can get a lot for your money in Wichita than you can elsewhere.
So a lot of those people that I've dealt with, as you don't even come to Wichita to see it.
They buy everything sight unseen.
They're buying it sight unseen, or they're relying on us to Skype or FaceTime.
I've done a lot of showings with them on the other end of my phone, just
Just holding it up, going, yeah, this is what this is.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I've done that as well. I've sold a family a home doing that.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't fly
Yeah.
in from California, and so I was showing them homes like that. So it's not unusual. So the technology has helped our job
Absolutely.
change, and so the pictures online are very important to a buyer, either an investor or a owner-occupant type buyer, because if they see something that's weird in the photo, they're just on to the next
Right.
property.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
yeah.
like, I didn't know what that was, so
On to
I
the
just
next one.
I just thought
Right.
I'd go on. you know.
Absolutely. And I think it's wildly important for every good real estate agent, when they do list a home, really to get professional photography done. I mean, to really allow the home, the best view that it could possibly get,
And
inside, outside, lighting. I mean, that's their job.
And that's something that we do with our job. is
Absolutely.
we're the ones calling the photographer, paying for the photographer, letting the photographer in,
Right.
getting those things uploaded to the right place. That's what we do on a regular basis. So anyway, now our time's up, so we have to go back to work.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Lawton.
much.
So next week, our guest is going to be Janelle King, and she's going to be here to talk about the Douglas Design District and all the fun things that are happening between Oliver and Washington on Douglas and the big expansion that they just announced.